Hey there everyone, it's BTM Kiwi here with a Flight Simulator 2020 stream. So we're going to do let's creep over a bit. We're going to do a flight from my home city here in New Zealand in Auckland. Hi house. And we're going to fly to Sydney in Australia, and hopefully land on runway 34 left, which is right here. Alright, let's set up the gate. Need a decent sized gate for it because we're in the 747 today. We have a large gate. Heavy gate, we might as well just do heavy gate. Gate 2, that's fine. Now, I do have the fuel range on unlimited, and you'll see why in a moment, because it's bugged with the 747. I'll just show you now actually. Just do a little tap, and it goes to random bloody stuff, and it won't take to what I want. So zero fuel weight. I always use an average weight of 91 kgs, and I used a seat layout from the Korean Air Boeing 747-8 to get the flight numbers, the seating numbers that I'm going to do, and I've already pre-calculated the weights given an average person of being 91 kgs. So business class and upper deck, we have 22 seats, which is 2,002 kgs of passengers, with if each one weighs average of 91 kgs. Our first class, we've only got 6 seats, which is 546 kgs. Business class main deck, we have 26 seats, which is 2,366 kgs. Our premium economy, which is the central economy class, I don't know why you'd think it would be at the very front, but that's front economy. Our premium economy has 95 seats, which is 8,645 kgs. Our forward economy has 79 seats, and that is 7,189 kgs. Our rear economy has 140 seats, and that is 12,740 kgs. Now I do zero forward baggage because we want to get the centre of gravity within acceptable limits, and I think with an average luggage of like 20 kgs, doesn't matter, I'm just going to do, it will be less than 10,000, but we'll just do 10k to pull back that centre of gravity. And crew, Korean Air map doesn't have a crew seating plan, so I'll use Lufthansa because there's very little commercial airlines using this plane. They're mostly cargo, and they have 14 crew, which is 1,274 kgs of crew. Now, it's quite close to our limit, so I might just pump on an extra 10,000 kgs. That's a bit better. So that is our weights done for our payload. I will max out the fuel for one reason only, so that stabilizing tank, which is for our weight balance, is maxed. Put reserves all the way down to 0, and because I've got unlimited fuel on, we don't need much fuel, but we want it balanced, so I just do one flick to the right, brings that down to 26. I'll do another flick down to 7. So I'm just using the right thumbstick here. Just a quick flick. Don't want to do too much input, otherwise it won't go to even ratios. Okay, that looks all good. 3127, 3127, 1153, 1153. Cool. Happy with that. Let's get loaded up. I am using SimBrief for my flight plan. If you are a free user, which I am because I don't really want to pay a subscription fee to use up-to-date air route cycles, but you can use another site that is free called onlineflightplanner.org. And that is a free one that allows you to use the most current up-to-date ARC cycle or air route cycle. I'm assuming that's what it stands for. But for this, I'm just going to use SimBrief because I think with the last update to this game, some of the stuff doesn't work properly. Cool. Alright, we're right at the back here. I think this is where the A380 parks. Alright. We want a battery on.
Battery switch. On. Standby power selector. Auto. External power.
Okay. Ground services, get power connected.
Auckland ground, VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Could you please send a ground power unit?
VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. A ground power unit is on the road.
Oh. And
On if available. APU selector.
battery can go off.
Start then on. APU gen switches.
Gonna wait for that to go available. Here the auxiliary power unit firing up the other engine. Alright.
On when avail lit. Fuel pumps.
We can disconnect external power. You would do the APU pretty much last, but I'm just trying to go through this first page.
On. Beacon. On.
Alright. Let's plug in our, actually, I want to get my, actually no, we'll do that after. Right. This is where our flight plan stuff comes in. Hopefully I can have access to these without activating that. Alright. I hate that being in the way. There we go. Right, now we're on gate 2, if I remember correctly. So reference airport. We want NZAA, that's their code for Auckland. So that gives us our positioning stuff, and we copy that and just paste it in. We're on gate 2. And our heading bug is set at 004 for our current heading. And I will be attempting to use SimRate for my first time. Speed up this flight, because no one wants to sit around for 3 hours if there's no tailwind, because it will be about 3 hours without a tailwind or more with a headwind. And we're going to Sydney, which is YSSY. All right. So my co-route for today is just Auckland Sydney 01 AKL SID. The sim brief shows you all of this when you generate your flight plan. Right. We want to go next page. So our route for today, for our flight plan, it has the we're taking off runway 23 left, flight level 380, so 38,000 feet. And that first waypoint that it shows is OSRAP 1P that we're taking, which is our departure. And that takes us to our first point, which is Peblu. So we just click that in. And put that in there. So now it wants us taking an airway. Airways always usually have a one letter and then 3 numbers afterwards. And if it says DCT, then that means direct. So it has us taking an airway called N759. N759. Hopefully this exists in the database, which it does. And it wants us to go to Sasro waypoint. Sasro, which is, these are all waypoints, are all letters. So you won't get confused, just so you don't get confused if the O's are zeros. Another airway, M636. Some of these aren't in the database for some reason, so we'll just make do. If it's not, we'll just go direct. And it wants us to take that airway to the waypoint Pluga. Good, that exists. And then from there, we're going direct to Rickney. And that exists, good. And then from there, another airway, N774. And we are taking that to Marlin, M-A-R-L-N, no I-N for Marlin, or Marlin, or Mal-N. Second index not found. Okay, so when we get something like that, just make sure I spelled it right. M-A-R-L-N. Yep. I'll try it again. Alright, not going in. That's fine. We are going to delete the airway. Because usually what happens is it doesn't like the airway paired up with that waypoint, because maybe it's not used anymore in the current database. Ah, damn it. Okay, cool. So that's now wiped. Let's see if I can get this in. Okay, now it's working. So we've got 2 to choose from. So these are very key. There's only 2 you can choose from, and I think normally in the real aircraft they actually show you the distance to it from the previous waypoint, and that's how you would know, really. But another way is, because we're in the southern hemisphere, we've got the longitude and latitude, and that's S for southern hemisphere, and that one's northern hemisphere, so we want this one. And look at that, it put the airway in anyway for us. N774. I don't understand why I didn't like it. It must have been because there was a conflict, because there was 2 of them and I didn't know which one to pick. Alright, so that looks like us from the flight plan. Yep, because the next thing is a star, which is our arrival. Execute that. Next up, performance cruise altitude. Our flight plan at the moment tells us it wants us at 38,000 feet. So there's some issues with the ILS, which helps us guide us down to the runway to land. I find, and so the plane likes to go through all of these steps. So takeoff, climb, cruise, descent, and approach. And if you don't hit your cruising altitude, it doesn't like going through the steps without reaching some parameters. So we could put the one that it wants us to take, and it should be fine, or we could maybe go a little bit lower, but still maybe fly higher or whatever. But I think I'll just hit the 380, and I need to remember that, because if we don't hit that height, actually, I'll just type it out in full just to see. 1, 2, 3, 38,000, and it should, I'm going to do a little test. 32,000, let's see if it changes to 320 or 320. Yes, it did, okay. It's good to know that that's not a bug. So you can change it, and our cost index, is very high, 208. I think that's just fuel burn. I'm no expert, so reserves. It usually wants something in there, but we've got unlimited fuel, so it doesn't really matter. This is all stuff we don't need to worry about for now. We want a flap set for 10 for takeoff, 10 degrees. Reduction, and we just click these to get our V speeds for taking off. All right, so our departure from Auckland, we are taking 23 left, and that will thin out these. And we want OSRAP 1P if it's there, but OSRAP, any of them, there's OSRAP, OSRA 1P, OSRAP. We select that, and we click execute to put that into the flight plan, departure and arrival. And before I do that, actually, radio nav, okay. This is empty, so that's good. I want to see if it puts in the correct frequency for the ILS for Sydney, and we're landing runway 34 left, ILS. That's what we want to do. And oh, look at that, Marlin 5. And execute. Now, that hasn't gone in, which is annoying, and I'm not too sure how to actually put that in. I know the frequency we need for Sydney, which is, I took a screenshot. We need, the ILS frequency is 110.1, but I'm not sure. I'm guessing it goes into that one, but I'm not sure what the MLS. I think that's minimums, but we'll see how we go when we get there for auto tunes in, because it should auto tune. But I'll try put this in, and we'll see how we go. Yeah, I want to clear that. I don't trust that. Let's try this. 34. Shouldn't have done that. I should have just left it. Let's try 34 left for ILS, and that is 110.1, and see what that does. Out of range. Alright. One thing I could probably do is wipe the ILS. Alright. I just need to hope that's right, because that should auto-tune really, and it should pop up. So we're going to do the arrivals, we're going to hit delete, and hopefully that wipes. Okay. D4, actually, we'll delete that again and execute, so it completely wipes it from the system. Execute. Still in there, and there's no way to wipe that, which is, to be honest, really annoying. Invalid entry, why can't I delete that from invalid entry? Oh well, we just have to hope that that'll be alright. Actually, we want... I don't even know if I'm putting that in correctly. Invalid entry. I wish some of the stuff wouldn't do that. Do that, clear, okay. If I do 000 or dash dash dot dot dot, empty it, doesn't do it, alright. Well, that's alright, we can come in for manual entry if we really want to. It will be rough. It will be rough, but yeah, that's what we'll do. And it will probably fail the landing, but 34 left, Marlin, execute. And I wish there was a way I could wipe the radio stuff, nav data. There's nothing in here, and I should be able to delete stuff. So we've got it here, ILS 34 left, so hopefully that works. But we'll see. We'll see. So we want it set. Actually, we want our legs. And if we come up here, put our map to plan mode. Let's take our range out. Let's say 40. Maybe even go a little bit more range, 80 knots. Alright, and then we can step through our waypoints to make sure we're following. There's Osrap, there's Cossacks, there's Galot, there's Peblu. I'm not too sure why that looks so massive. I'm going to zoom out a bit more. Alright. Let's go back to the beginning. That's an odd star, but oh well. Alright, that's not too bad. So, take off. Go back to our range there, back to map mode. We're gonna put our airport data on, and we want terrain on as well, and maybe go zooming out a little bit. Flight director on. Alright, we are set up and ready to rock and roll, so let's get in touch with ATIS. And I don't really care about doing all that stuff. I'm going to tune in the ATIS quickly.
Auckland Airport information, Oscar 0400 Zulu. Flight 230 at 20. Visibility 6. Sky condition, ceiling 1,000 feet overcast. Temperature 19er.
Alright, that's all I care about.
QNA. Auckland ground, VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, ready to copy IFR clearance to Sydney.
VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 is cleared to Sydney Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 23 left climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119.2 squawk 1257.
VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 cleared to Sydney Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 23 left climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure on 119.2 squawk 1257.
VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9er. Good day.
Alright.
Auckland ground, VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 with Oscar ready to taxi IFR.
VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 taxi to and hold short of runway 23 left using taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 120.9er, flight when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 23 left via taxiway Alpha BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Alright, let's get pushback.
Auckland ground, VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 requesting pushback.
VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408
break off.
pushback request accepted.
So I need to remember for Sydney when we come in, we need to be, it wants us, there's 2 for runway 34 left, there's a 4,000 feet one to intercept the ILS at a waypoint, and there's a 3,000, but we're going to take the 3,000 anyway regardless, just because it's safer that way so we don't overshoot. It gives us a little bit more time to you never want to chase the descent, the glide slope, and we want to turn left, well, soon.
Auckland ground, VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
And we have to go all the way down to the end of the runway.
Auckland ground, VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 requesting the end of pushback.
VTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 request to end pushback received.
Alright, back to clearance. And we need to tune into the tower. And we shall start up the engines. Pull out the checklists.
Thrust levers. Idle. APU bleed. On. Engine bleed air switches. On. Engine 4-start switch.
Do 3 and 4 together.
Pull. Engine 4 fuel control switch. Run. ICAS.
You just wait for that to for those to spool up. Get our others started. Alright, engines are all looking happy as Larry. Stabilized. Our hydraulic pressure came to life. That person in an A380. And we are stabilized.
Monitor. Engines 1, 2, 3.
Let's finish that. We've done that.
APU selector.
APU off.
Off. Lights.
All of our lights now need to come on.
On.
Alright, we are ready to rock and roll. Could be a A330-9, but I don't know. I'm trying to remember here how to go up. Actually, while we're at it, what the hell is that? That's weird. Do we have a clock inside the aircraft? We should do somewhere. It's honestly pretty strange. Put our flaps down. We're actually going way too fast here. Oh, that was strange. Oh, that guy's practicing landings.
Auckland Tower, generic Golf Bravo Alpha 1107 miles east inbound for DME runway 23 left approach. Generic Golf Bravo Alpha 110 Auckland Tower. QNH 29.85 wind 230 at 20. Cleared VOR DME runway 23 left approach. Cleared VOR DME runway 23 left approach generic 110. Auckland Tower BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 ready for IFR departure runway 23 left. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 QNH 29.85 wind 230 at 20. Cleared for takeoff runway 23 left. Cleared for takeoff runway 23 left BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Come on, move your big ass, girl.
Generic 110 wind 230 at 20. Cleared to land runway 23 left.
No, you're not. I'm there.
Cleared to land runway 23 left generic 110.
Alright, everything's set. Alright, let's go.
Generic 110 go around.
Doing a go around.
Going around generic 110. Generic 110, contact New Zealand Center on 119.2. Good day. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, contact New Zealand Center on 119.2. Good day. Going to 119.2, generic 110. 119.2 for BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. New Zealand Center BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 is passing 4,100 feet, climbing 6,000 feet. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 New Zealand Center QNH 29.85, continue to RSIP as planned.
I want 38,000 feet, if I remember correctly.
New Zealand Center BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Request flight level 180. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, climb and maintain 6,000 feet, expect flight level 180.
Huh?
Climb and maintain 6,000 feet, expect flight level 180, BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, climb and maintain flight level 180. Climb and maintain flight level 180, BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. New Zealand Center BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Request flight level 280. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, climb and maintain flight level 180, expect flight level 280.
Oh, thank you. And I want 380.
Climb and maintain flight level 180, expect flight level 280, BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Actually, let's use this.
Generic 110, you are 400 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet, QNH 29.85.
Flight level change, that will target our airspeed to climb at. So it will climb as long as it can hold 250 knots. There's Point Lengu, which is normally the point at which you enter the ILS for coming into the airport. And we are going to bump out the range a bit now. I want 38, so...
New Zealand Center BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Request flight level tree 80.
Generic 110, please expedite your descent 3,000 feet. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, climb and maintain flight level 180. Expect flight level tree 80.
Oh, thank you.
Climb and maintain flight level 180. Expect flight level tree 80 BTM 2408 November Zulu
Lights can go off.
2408.
Logo lights off, wing lights off, strobes on, nav on, and beacon on. That was weird. I just felt a little bit of shaking here. I wonder if we just had a little earthquake. Maybe it could have been a heavy vehicle going past.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 240, climb and maintain flight level tree 00.
Climb and maintain flight level tree 00 BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Yeah, so when we go above a certain height, we enter standard for barometric pressure, which is 2992, I think. Yeah. We're starting to get some contrails here. I still have my flat set to 1, so they've still got just the leading edge, the slats, deployed. So that should help give us some extra lift. I may need to even... Oh, that's something I forgot to do. Naughty Braden. Window heat on, we're icing up. Need everything on auto. Geez, it's rule number one before you start, or as you start your climb, put the icing on or on auto, because as you go through clouds, the condensation in the clouds will, at these heights, because of the temperatures, they'll freeze. No, we're above the cloud layer now, so that's actually alright to turn that off, but I just put the flaps down a little bit more, and our flap limit at 5 degrees is 265 knots. And we're under that, so I decided to pop them out a little bit, just to give us a little bit more lift, but I've noticed our descent, our climb rate is dropping, so as I pull it back in, see if that goes up. Yes, it's climbing, so what happens if I just go all the way up? Angle of attack will drop, but angle of attack is definitely not like that. Our climb rate's gone up, so less drag, I guess. There's nothing wrong with that. We'll just keep it at that. Even though I don't really like having the angle of attack like that.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 240, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Alright.
Climb and maintain flight level
I just hit
360
3,000, mate.
BTM 2408 November Zulu.
You couldn't have told me that a little bit earlier. If we want to pick a specific rate to climb at, like 3,000, 4,000 or 5,000 feet or something, then we'd put this vertical speed mode and we'd dial that with our vertical speed to negative or positive depending on what we wanted. But because I'm climbing and I just find flight level change mode more handy, so it targets, as I said, it targets the airspeed for our climb. And that's handy because as you get up higher, the air becomes thinner, and it will register that, oh, we're slowing down too much because the air's thinner and it can't maintain this level of, like if we put it to like 3,000 feet a second, it can't maintain that level of ascent at these altitudes, and the speed starts dropping and it drops to a dangerous level where we could stall out. So flight level change mode keeps it within the speed that you set, which could be a safe speed, and yeah, it keeps you safe. So it adjusts the vertical speed to keep that forward speed that you've selected targeted. And then for descent, you'd probably just use vertical speed, to be honest. You can still use this flight level change. And it tends to, the Airbuses use that automatically in manage speed mode. And with the manage, I'm pretty sure they use it with the manage altitude change mode. It targets the speed it's got to manage, and you can overwrite. This just gives you a little extra control, I guess. Or well, it just does it automatically for you because they know that's the best mode, best stuff. So it's really more automatic. So I guess the Boeing just has extra steps, slightly, or a different way of understanding the steps. Once we get to our height, I'm going to increase our targeted airspeed. So at the moment we've got a ground speed of nearly 400 knots. So I'm not sure how fast that will be in kilometers an hour. I know like 530 or something like that is around 1,050 kilometers an hour, which is really nice speed. So this will probably be at something like 700 kilometers an hour. That's only with us targeting this 250 airspeed while on our climb. So once we get to our altitude we want, and some contrails, can't even see New Zealand, it's covered in a blanket of, but let me actually check that in real life, which it should be, I think. Yeah, we've got some pretty dark cloud over us right at the moment. Once we hit this altitude, I will probably put on I'll increase our airspeed. I'll try to target, I think, a cruise speed, because you have to do it really pretty much. Not sure what toggle thrust mode is, but the Airbus is really good that way. It knows which speed you want to be at for the cruise and all that stuff. This may do, but yeah, it's going to ask me to climb up.
Zulu 240, climb and maintain flight level 380. Climb and maintain flight level 380 BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Alright. Should be fine with not needing that now. So I'll let it climb out. And then I'll increase the speed. And then once we've passed this kind of crazy zigzag here, I will put the sim rate up so we can get through this a bit faster, because I have no idea, well, with increasing the sim rate, if it's going to like that, to be honest. Going at increase in game speed, and how well the autopilot will follow those waypoints. I suppose most of it is straight, and it just looks not very long distance. But it is, because I've got it set to 160 nautical miles range, so you can't even see it at 80. Start seeing them come into the 80 view. So the 160, you've got each line there. It's just you've got the very top line, and it's just dividing each point section into fours. So each section is 40 miles out, and we're about to hit our upper altitude for our cruise, and I am going to, now that we're at cruise, take the seatbelt light off, even though it says no smoke prompt light, but on the thing itself it says seatbelt light. Alright. I am going to set our speed to 300. just below our warning speed. Still showing up that guy in his I'm gonna do a quick Google of that in a moment. Airbus A339. Alright, so I was right. It is the A330neo or the A330-9. Two-engine plane, and as we saw that guy's model that he had, it was a A380 model nearly. It was like a double-decker or a triple-decker because the cargo deck was counted as a third deck. Double passenger deck with 4 engines, but the A330neo is 2-engine. That's good to know. I might as well dial in our Sydney ATIS. And our ATIS for Sydney is 112.1. She's struggling to climb in speed now. She's definitely not enjoying it. Now, ground speed is 507 knots, so I might... I hate it when it does that. Going to cycle back a little bit for us. Alright, I might pull it back a tiny bit more. May as well just go to 290. It's a bit kinder to her. Taking a while for her to drop in speed. Might just keep her at 293 or something. Holding quite nicely at that. 64% power. We've got a good look of, well, it's not a good look of the ocean, but we're seeing some ocean here, so we're getting bit out, and I'm hoping once we pass see if I can go to a route and bring up Point Pebble to go to right now. Because it wants us to go to Golot. And then Pebble. Oh no, that's actually to do with our flight plan. That's our end point. Not sure how to bring up our point to just go to right now. Let's see. Transition altitude, okay. Our legs. I can do that to bring that up. Something just happened there. So now it's wanting direct to Pebble. Yeah, so it's going to intercept us to Pebble. I don't know why it's taking us to that gullet, but oh well. Turn going. That will bring us pretty much going straight into that headwind. So, that's how we skip a route. Pretty sure I went legs, clicked on Pebble, clicked it up onto the one above it because that's the current one it's wanting to do, and it overrides it. And then, or maybe go route and do that. And then you obviously hit execute. Or activate, then execute. I'm hoping this catches and actually does its thing. Otherwise we're a bit screwed. But no matter, I'll try to manually land it if that's the case. 90. approach speeds when we go in. We'll go in at max flaps. I'm at 46. Cool. So that's what we're going to pick. The landing. And I'm just going to leave that there, to be honest. Got weather. We're on. Everything else off. Do waypoints. That might bring up other waypoints that are around. There's one there. Okay. So we don't care about that. Waypoint data. Except for maybe when we're coming from the ILS, some of those other routes, points. Once we hit this point and start straightening out along the correct course, I will activate sim rate and we can see how we go. And we have a ground speed of, is that 500 smack bang? Yes, 500. You guys can all Google that if you want to find out what that is. And in your own geez, I keep forgetting the word for it, in your own velocity, so kilometers an hour, miles an hour, since nautical miles is different.
2408 November Zulu 240 in contact Auckland Center on 120.5. Good day. BTM 2408 November Zulu 240, please acknowledge. Going to 120.5 BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Auckland Center BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 flight level 380. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 Auckland Center, continue to Sasro as planned. Auckland Center BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 requests destination change to Sydney. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 is cleared to Sydney Airport as filed. Squawk 1257. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 cleared to Sydney Airport as filed. Squawk 1257. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 read back correct. Radar contact flight level 380. Continue to Sasro turning and following heading 240, proceed on course descend and maintain flight level 240. Continue to Sasro turning and following heading 240, resume on navigation descend and maintain flight level 240 BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Auckland Center BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Request flight level 240. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 descend and maintain flight level 260. Expect flight level 240. Descend and maintain flight level 260. Expect flight level 240.
Oh, this is just strange.
2408 November Zulu 2408. Auckland Center BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Request flight level 340. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 descend and maintain flight level 340.
Back up to the 38,000.
Descend and maintain flight level 340 BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Four more.
Auckland Center BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Request flight level 380. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 climb and maintain flight level 380.
Fine. I'm already at 380 and I'm at standard.
Climb and maintain flight level 380 BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Standard. Alright, let's try sim rate. I was just doing some other stuff. How far out are we? It's as far out as it's due, so I think my sim rate is right bumper in.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, you are 400 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level 380.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. That was a bit rocky.
BTM 2408
Yes.
November Zulu 2408, did you hear my last transmission? Climb and maintain flight level 380 BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Oh, I can't get that off my screen now. What the fuck? Alright, it doesn't like that. So when I started going up a bit too high, I did, I think, 3 clicks of sim rate, and it did that. Went all funky. Two clicks. I did a third.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, you are 300 feet below your assigned
Gone back
altitude.
to normal.
Climb and maintain flight level 380.
So we can actually see Sydney coming up now.
2408 November
Oh,
Zulu
my gosh.
2408, did you copy?
Yes, sir. And I should get rid of
Descend and
the
maintain
tips
flight level 380
because
BTM
it's simulation
2408
rate. I
November
know
Zulu
that it doesn't like it, but
2408.
that's in the way. And I can't get that to go. Alright, there's no tips for there. Let's quickly pause it. You'd think they'd have a tip section here. And it's still there. Oh, there we go, it's gone. Cool. Maybe it just disappeared after I paused it and unpaused it and did a check. Alright, I'm gonna put sim rate up. 1, 2, I think. 2 does double speed. 3, yeah, looks just starting to go wild. So I quickly chuck it back to normal so it gets itself to the correct height. Get settled. And while it's doing that, about to do the turn, I am going to dial in our ATIS for Sydney, which is 1121. 1121. I'm not too sure how to actually pop that in. Auckland's 1250, okay. So 1121 for a standby. 1, 2, 1. Oh, I need to put in the whole thing, okay.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, contact Brisbane Centre on 120.55.
Brisbane, it should be Sydney.
120.55 for BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Going to bloody Sydney, not Brisbane.
Brisbane Centre BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, flight level 380. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, Brisbane Centre, continue to plug out as planned.
Brisbane Centre's 12550. Let's see if I can get some ATIS going. Alright, that's COM 2. VHF 2. Okay, now let's put in our 112.1 on number 2. Error. Why error? Is that not in the game? I've got the charts up right now. They've got another one called 11855. Putting it into there. Okay. That's weird. VHF stuff. Okay. Okay, I might try putting in that 1121 again. Let's just see what happens. 112100, and I'll put another 0. Okay, error. So it doesn't like that one for sure. Okay, so let's just use the other ATIS then. 11855. 11855 0. All right, so lovely ocean beneath us, the Tasman Sea. And we can start bringing that down. And let's see our charts for where our top of descent is. Our top of descent is just a bit before Rickney. So after Paluga and at Rickney, and I want to try and get us down to 3,000. prepare for that right now. Pop that down to... Actually, no, I'll wait for the controllers to tell me what to do. But... There we have Rickney. It would be nice if it told me my descent point on here, but... Don't see anything changing, so I'm going to leave that. Alright. Let's try sim rate again. 1, 2. That's all I'm going to do. So, autopilot only likes sim rate being at that rate. And I don't know if it's doing sim rate for the sun. I hope not, for the live weather. So I clicked my sim rate up to. There's no button to reset it, which is really bad and annoying. I go one more. See it starts going haywire. Normal rates. Ground speed of 511, not bad. Right, we're stable. I'm going to put sim rate 1, 2 down. Does it go any slower? That's normal. 1, 2. I think I've got it at normal sim rates now. They really need a little indicator to let you know what sort of sim rate you're at. Let's see if I can look around and find a clock. So if I can find a clock in the cockpit, that'll be very handy. Actually being able to would the clock be in here? If I was a clock, where would I be? Go lower. No clock hidden around here.
November Zulu 2408, contact Brisbane Center on 125.7. Good day. 125.7 BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Don't change my 11855.
Brisbane Center BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 flight level 380.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 Brisbane Center, continue to Plica.
So there's the time there, 7:52, but that's Zulu time. And that's non-daylight savings time. wonder. There's a timer here. Let's see.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
So that's not doing anything. That's just regular time.
Good day. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Did you hear my last transmission?
128.6 for BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Brisbane Centre BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 flight level 380. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 Brisbane Centre, continue to plug in as planned.
Definitely didn't like that. There really should be a not yet. I think once you're about 120 miles out from the airport, you can pick up on the frequencies. If not, I can just try and plug in different frequencies and have a look. Surely there should be an analog clock in the plane. Any clock here where the station display and then off, don't need it then. A little bit annoying. Just looking down in there too. No time there. That is a little frustrating. So we've been flying now for 2 hours, or streaming for 2 hours. Some sim rate up, 2 sim rate up, 3. Can handle 3 only just. I think I can see land. We're going to start turning at the moment. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put sim rate back down. It might struggle to catch it. Once she's stabilized on this vector, I will start contacting the tower to allow us to drop down to 3,000 feet. So we're pretty much on top of our point now. Well, we're just past our waypoint. We've got 248 kilometers to go, or 132 nautical miles. So if we just halve that, got 100 and 100 is 50. 15 is half of 30, so 65 nautical miles left. I'll start the descent. I think that's what we need to do before Rickney. That should work out good because it's a little bit on the closer to Rickney side. And let's have a little look to see if our pick up the ATIS. When we start our descent, I'll try and do different ones because at the moment there's probably no point. Right. So what did I say about 65 nautical miles? 1, 2, 3 sim rate. The contrail's massive because it shouldn't be that short, that going this fast. I'll start dropping the sim rate down once we get to 70. Go. Look at descent.
Brisbane Centre BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Request flight level 280. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 descend and maintain flight level 280. Descend and maintain flight level 280 BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
$250 knot flight level change, descent.
Brisbane Centre BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Request flight level 180. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 descend and maintain flight level 280. Expect flight level 180. Descend and maintain flight level 280. Expect flight level 180. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 descend and maintain 16,000 feet. Descend and maintain 16,000 feet. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
I want to go lower, but it's not giving me. Pretty strong descent. All right. Let's brakes forward. Not in use, that's not good. So 8,000 there.
Brisbane Centre BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Alright, let's have a look at our other ATIS
BTM
comms.
2408 November Zulu 2408 continue to rainy turning and following heading 250 resume on navigation. Continue to rainy turning and following heading 250 proceed.
We
on
have a
course BTM
12625 as well,
November Zulu
and then
2408.
a low frequency range of 428 as well, but we won't do any of those. So we've got one other to test out. A very low frequency, a VLF. Let's try 12625. 126.250. Right, it's not picking up on anything, at least at the moment. Ping that back. So I think I missed something because it's not allowing me to select to go lower, which I want to do. Sim rate up, 1, 2. Don't know what happened there. Change perhaps.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, please expedite your descent 16,000 feet. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, contact Brisbane Centre on 125.7. Good day. 125.7 BTM 2408
Ah.
November Zulu 2408.
I see what happened there.
Brisbane Centre BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 is passing flight level 280 descending 16,000 feet.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 Brisbane Centre, continue to rig me as planned.
Alright, I can probably go to normal now. The only issue with that, actually let's try this again, see if we can pick up the ATIS. Oh, it's tuned.
Sydney Airport Information Golf 0700 Zulu. Wind 226 at tree 4. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, clear. Temperature, 22. Dew point, 10.
Yeah, that's not good. ILS 16 left is got one being used.
ILS runway 16 left and ILS runway 16 right in use. Landing and departing runway 16 left and runway 16 right. DSR aircraft, say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller, on initial contact, you have golf.
Alright, now that we've got that, I'm going to try the other one, because I have a feeling this might be for other aircraft. So hopefully, figuring that out. I'll go 11855. 11855. Let's see if we get that. Yes, Sydney's tuned in now.
Sydney Airport Information Golf 07.
Alright.
Wind 227 at tree 4. Visibility,
Landing and departing, both runway 16 left and 16 right. Okay.
Temperature, 22. Dew point, 10. QNH, 29.74. ILS runway 16 left and ILS runway
That's not good.
16 right in use.
QNH is fine.
128.6 for BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Brisbane Centre BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 is at flight level 230 descending 16,000 feet. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 Brisbane Centre, continue tomorrow as planned.
That's actually really annoying. Let's go edit. Quickly go edit my flight plan. Use the current time. Go generate flight plan, and let's have a look. See if it's going to give us a new runway. No, they're still saying they want us on 34 left on that, but the air traffic controllers don't want us on that. They want us landing on runway 16. So, where's my gallery? Go to website. 16 left and 16 right. Oh, where were these charts? Come on, load, 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 load. Okay, so we want runway 16 right. That's still the same runway, it's just longer. It's the same runway, it's just going the opposite direction. Which is a bit weird. to be honest, because of the wind direction there. But that's annoying. You're on 16 right. Right, let's lock 16 right. Once it's at 3,000 feet, and the approach fix for that is Kathy or something like that. I might leave it as is, to be honest, because I don't really want to mess around with that. Because I've already, as you guys saw, I already tuned that in. Yeah, that's kind of weird. It wants 8,000 and back up to 9,000, I think.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, contact Melbourne Center on 129.8. Good day.
I don't know why that guy is out that far in a C17. Okay, maybe that's an actual C-17 Air Force plane.
Melbourne Center BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 is at 16,500 feet, descending 16,000 feet.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 Melbourne Center QNH 29.77 continue to Baidu as planned. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 descend and maintain 8,000 feet.
Alright.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
So we still got weather mode on. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, we're actually really close. Our decel point. Yeah, I need to drop. I want to. Cabin crew, get the ass into gear. Listen to the ATIS. 2977. Gonna start seeing land very soon. Yeah, I'm just gonna commit to landing this way. I'll ask them for another approach for 34 left. Because that's what I'm configured for, and that's what I want. So I hope that's right.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 contact approach on 135.9er. Good day.
Good day to you, madam.
Going to 135.9 BTM
Well, if there's
2408
much
November
distance
Zulu
left,
2408.
I don't exactly want to put on some rate.
Approach BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 is passing 9,600 feet, descending 8,000 feet.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, approach QNH 29.77, continue to Whale as planned.
I am going to punch in 3,000 for that to get that ready. Alright, we've got our ILS come live. That's good. Okay, I'm committed to this. I don't give a shit what they tell me. I'm doing it. I'm landing it as
BTM
this.
2408 November Zulu 2408, descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
Oh, thank you.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
There's Sydney Harbour, I think, or is that just a cloud? I'm pretty sure that's Sydney Harbour. Sydney Harbour will be up that way, won't it? Curse these clouds. Still got a decent amount of range to go. Oh yeah, that was the harbour. Okay, cool. I was correct, Mundo. Sydney. And someone's in an Air Force craft, I don't know what that is. That is pretty high. Cessna 250 Caravan, I think that is. Right, I'm gonna 20 meters. I'm gonna start our landing lights on. And I'll put our taxi lights on soon. On our final approach. So we've hit our deceleration point, so I'm gonna set our speed back to our reference speed for flaps 1, 240, so 239. That's down to 1. And our ILS diamond has gone live for our vertical. Which is good that it's above us, because we want it above us. If it's below us, it's bad, because that's called chasing the glide slope. You don't want to chase it. You definitely do not want to chase that. 49 is our reference for 25, but I want 30. I'll do the flat 30, so we can land at 25 or 30. God, it's, yeah, I know. It was beeping at me, being annoying. So when we start our turn, which we're about to, I'm going to set that ready. Jesus, what is the time over here in real life? It is 7:30. 7:30 p.m. It's still a bit light, getting nearly dark. It's about twilight zone now we're in. Okay, we're starting our turn, and I am going to start our descent to 3,000 and drop our speed to 219. Our flaps. I think the reference speed means that's the speed you want to hit, you want to aim for, and then as you pass that speed, you deploy the flaps. So I think that's 185. I'm going to drop the speed down to further. It's 184 actually. Alright, we've got our ILS frequency up here. 110.10.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. You are 1,000 feet below your assigned
That's
altitude.
cool. Shush, I don't care.
Climb and maintain 4,000 feet QNH 29.77.
Climb and
I
maintain
may as well
4,000
chuck us
feet
to
BTM
146.
2408 November Zulu 2408. Approach BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 requesting vector to next waypoint.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Continue to test it turning and following heading 290.
Continue to TISAT turning and following heading 290 BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Alright, we're at 3,000. Our ILS should be coming across. Come on, it should be coming across already. It's not very good that it hasn't come across yet. So we might actually need to do... Oh, here we go, it's coming across now. Whew! That was a bit worrying. Where's our runway here?
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, you are 15 miles south. Maintain present heading and altitude, expect vectors ILS runway 16 right approach.
Stand by BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, roger.
Damn it. I don't care.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect vectors ILS runway 16 right approach.
Okay, we've
BTM
got our
2408
our glide
November
slope
Zulu
indicator coming
2408.
down. I think the reason why it wants us doing the other runway, doing the same runway but the other direction, is because of the wind. But this way, the wind is a very slight headwind. So I don't understand why they want us doing 16 left, but oh well. And we're about to get the diamond showing, the vertical speed diamond. Once that starts touching, I'm going to hit approach mode, and then I'll get the landing gear out. And approach mode on, and that should try to follow the diamond down to keep our glide slope. Yep. Glide slope captured, GS. Alright, I'm happy with
BTM 2408
that.
November Zulu 2408, please expedite your climb 4,000 feet.
No, thank you. Armed. And I better speak to him.
Approach BTM 2408 November Zulu
Auto brakes.
2408. Requesting vector to next waypoint.
Auto brakes on 3.
China Southern 301, you are 18 miles north.
Landing gear out.
Climb and maintain 4,300 feet. Expect vectors ILS runway 16 left approach. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, turn right heading 050. China Southern 301, you are 17 miles north of Sydney. Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Contact Sydney
Oh my
Tower
God,
on
dude.
124.7.
Turn right heading 050 BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. Tower on 124.7 China Southern 301.
Alright. We are set. These on. Everything looks good. Flaps at full. Gear down. Glide slope's being followed. Wind just got a little bit heavier and changed direction a little bit.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, please expedite your climb 4,000 feet.
Auto throttle off.
1,000.
So with that off, I've got control of the throttle.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, please expedite your climb 4,000 feet.
40, 30, 20. 10.
Very bad landing. I don't know what happened there. The wind was blowing me right to the side. Well, that was a hairy landing.
Sydney ground, BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, taxi to the gate.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, taxi to gate Kilo 120 using taxiway Alpha 2 Alpha Alpha Tree, cross runway tree.
Speed brakes didn't deploy, no wonder. And there's no option for acknowledge.
Sydney ground, BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, say again please.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, taxi to gate Kilo 120 using taxiway Alpha 2 Alpha Alpha Tree, cross runway tree, 4 left Bravo 8 Charlie Kilo.
That's annoying. So that was a bit odd with it not following the glide slope all the way down, and
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
I would like to acknowledge it, but you're not giving me an option to acknowledge. Let's try this one.
Sydney ground, BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, I didn't copy that, say again
BTM
please.
2408 November Zulu
Sydney ground, didn't
2408,
copy,
taxi
please say again for
Kilo
BTM
120,
2408 November
taxiway
Zulu
Alpha 2 Alpha, cross
2408.
runway 07 Alpha Golf, cross runway 16 right Golf Charlie, cross runway 25 Charlie Kilo.
Oh my god. Fuck. Oh, what? You can get turned off. How do I turn this off? No.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, acknowledge last transmission.
I would love to acknowledge your last transmission, buddy, but unfortunately it doesn't let me, so yeah.
Sydney ground, please say again transmission for BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
BTM 2408 November
Sydney
Zulu
ground, please say
2408,
again
taxi
transmission
to
for
gate Kilo
BTM
120 using taxiway Alpha 2 Alpha, cross runway 07 Alpha Golf, cross runway 16 right Golf Charlie, cross runway 25 Charlie Kilo.
So I think that's international terminal over there, and this is domestic terminal. Oh, this is... I'm just going to go and park
BTM
wherever I want.
2408 November Zulu 2.
Maybe I'm doing something wrong, I don't know. But where am I going to go? Actually, let's actually tune that in and see if I can follow it at all.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, ATC services terminated. Good day.
Taxi to gate K120.
Sydney ground, BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408, taxi to the gate.
BTM 2408
Yeah.
November Zulu 2408, taxi to gate Kilo 120 via taxiway Alpha 2 Alpha, cross runway 07 Alpha Golf, cross runway 16 right Golf Charlie, cross runway 25 Charlie Kilo.
Yes.
Taxi taxiing to gate Kilo 120 using taxiway
Do
Alpha
it.
2 Alpha cross runway 07 Alpha Golf cross runway 16 right Golf Charlie cross runway 25 Charlie Kilo BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Is it actually taking me to where I thought it would? I think it is. Thought I put tips and hints off. I should have checked that before crossing.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Hold position, caution, the generic on final. BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Did you copy?
Yes.
Hold position BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Which one's on final? Either one behind me. I think maybe he was.
Sydney Brown, China Southern 301 taxi to west parking.
China Southern 301 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Tango Tree Tango Lima cross runway 34 left Lima Alpha Juliet Yankee cross runway 07 Yankee Hotel Golf 2.
Alright, it's getting quite dark now out there.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Tango Tree Tango Lima cross runway 34 left Lima Alpha Juliet Yankee cross runway 07 Yankee Hotel Golf 2 China Southern 301.
It's a bit weird. So the general on final, because they're meant to be landing this direction.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408 continue taxi.
Roger BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408.
Sydney Ground generic Victor Hotel Juliet Victor Delta taxi to east parking. Generic Victor Hotel Juliet Victor Delta taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Bravo Tree Bravo Bravo 4 Charlie Bravo 4 Golf Delta Oscar Mike 5.
Oh, this is some old crap bloody tarmac.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Bravo Tree Bravo Bravo 4 Charlie Bravo 4 Golf Delta Oscar Mike 5 generic Juliet Victor Delta.
I can hear the wind. So one of the things you need to remember when flying in these planes when they've got auto throttle, with Airbus I don't think it's very important, the managed speed mode, because you can cut it out when you land, it auto disables it, it's part of the autopilot. But with the Boeing, you have to flick that switch to disable it. Otherwise, if you try to go idle thrust and then reverse thrust, it won't work. But for some reason, my speed brakes didn't pop up and I armed them. You guys saw me arm them before I landed. So it was weird that they, unless they've added a new thing where they just, once you come down to a controllable rate, they just retract. because Australia or Sydney's 2 hours behind New Zealand. Are they? Because we're in daylight savings, and I know that we don't go into daylight savings at the same time Australia and New Zealand. I think, oh yeah, we've been in daylight savings now for a week, so I'm pretty sure Australia is a week behind us with that. So they should be now 2 hours behind us in 3. That, or at least minimize it. But yeah, it looks like I tuned in that ILS correctly, so that was good. This is a weird parking. I asked for a gate, and this is pretty much parking rather than a gate. How long these guys are going to take off. They must have spawned in at the end of the runway rather than at a gate or parking. Trim back to neutral. Trim at neutral. I should have done this earlier. Let's not get the the APU on. Does this give me anything info about the APU? It's giving me warnings. That I don't care. I know. All right. And that was actually kind of bad of me. I forgot to put terrain mode on. got to adjust this. Should have helped a lot for finding our parking. Any airport data. Right. I probably should have gone to Barrow for the minimums instead of radio altimeter. Alright, we've got the APU up. I can now call for the ground services. Power supply.
Sydney ground, BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Could you please send a ground power unit?
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. A ground power unit is on the road.
Oh, and a ramp connection.
Sydney ground, BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Could you please send a ramp?
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. A ramp is on its way.
How is he doing? Oh, he's landing on the short runway. Okay. Yeah, a runway dedicated for private planes and smaller aircraft.
Sydney ground, BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Could you please send the baggage?
I don't want to send the baggage, I want to remove the
BTM
baggage.
2408 November Zulu 2408. Baggage is on the way.
Catering service to clear out
Sydney
the
ground,
aircraft.
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. Could you please send the catering truck?
BTM 2408 November Zulu 2408. The catering truck is on the road.
Alright. The engines have had some time to cool down, or wind down should I say, for this phase that they need to do. And I will turn them off in the same order that I turned them on. We've got our APU on. That will turn off soon. Close. Close. Those are shut down, and now the next lot. And that's our flight complete. Alright everyone, that's going to conclude this stream of my first streamed flight to you guys. The landing was a little rough, I will admit. That wind was pretty damn strong because I do use live weather and I have live traffic on and all that jazz, and yeah. And I'm assuming the air brakes or the spoilers didn't deploy to help slow me down, so that wasn't the greatest of landings. With also the glide slope losing. I don't know how it lost the glide slope, but I have a feeling it was to do with the radio altimeter type thing, because I had that set for the minimums rather than the barometer and didn't have any barrows set for that. So I think maybe it got to a certain amount and then the autopilot doesn't like it. But and I was a bit slow to responding to that, to then take it in manually. But we landed it. We didn't bounce up. We did start tipping, but managed to correct it and pull that over. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the flight and maybe even learned something. But in any event, if you guys did enjoy that and would like to see me do more, like to see more things like it, then hit that follow button. And I will be exporting this to my YouTube channel, so if you guys are interested in checking that out, you can follow the link underneath my live stream panel or in the description of past streams to get there. And likewise, if you're on my YouTube channel watching this and you would like to find my Twitch, then you can follow the link in the description as well as in the channel banner. I do upload clips and stuff to my YouTube channel, so that's one of the benefits of that, which I can't do to here to Twitch. And if you guys like what you see over there, then why not help me out and subscribe? And you'll have a lot to me, and I'd very much appreciate it. As always, drop a comment on stuff you'd like to see me do next, or things you think I could do better with, or just to pop in and say hey. And I hope you're all having a great night or a great day wherever in the world you are, and you're all keeping healthy and safe with COVID still running loose everywhere. And yeah, peace out everyone. Have a great one. Happy flying. I might put little links to those sites as well that I mentioned to do with the flight planning. So the SimBrief and the flightplanning.org, I think. I'll put a little link to them if I remember. I should remember. But yeah, peace out everyone. Have a great one.